Works, Transport, and Communications of the United Republic of Tanzania. This is certainly a new dawn to see the Secretariat bringing all the relevant stakeholders responsible for ICT, information, transport, and meteorology to a roundtable with ministers to discuss some of the highest priority, innovative, and emerging high-capacity broadband access technologies that promise to have a significant impact in supporting SADC agenda on regional integration and sustainable industrial development in the near future. This roundtable dialogue provides a platform for an interactive debate in a high-level setup on the financing, opportunities, and challenges of innovative and emerging technologies planned to be deployed in the SADC region. The dialogue is structured to provide formal discussions, high-level interactive engagement, exchange of experiences, lessons learned, and good practices between key stakeholders on key issues under the selected themes. This will also be an opportunity to brainstorm on interventions that may be required to finance and promote these technologies to achieve tangible results, contributing towards the economic development of the SADC region, especially in the advent of fourth industrial revolution. This is part of the Secretariat's ongoing effort to promote active engagement, dialogue, and cooperation among policy makers and strategic industry players to shape the future of SADC. I may pause to indicate that we are in the period where we are crafting the SADC Vision 2050. And therefore, it is important that we discuss these issues because they will shape our programs going forward. We are also in the process of developing SADC post-2020, the new Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan from 2020 to 2030. So it is befitting that we discuss these issues now so that when we sit together around tables and agreeing on those key programs, we at least we know exactly what is happening in the world. High-level presentations will be delivered by top executives and experts from organizations on the technologies and development partners and banks to stimulate discussions on the solutions and the impact of these emerging technologies on SADC region and its citizens. The overview and key outcomes of the Ministerial Roundtable Dialogue will be reflected in the meeting summary. This will help guide relevant decisions and formulation of the resulting ministerial interventions and measures that are necessary to accelerate the deployment of these critical emerging technologies to be reflected in the records of the SADC cluster meeting of ministers responsible for ICT, information, transport, and meteorology to be held tomorrow, the 20th September 2019. If I were to tease you with some statistics, honorable ministers, sometimes you may not be aware of where we are in the region. The SADC percentage of individuals using the internet is 22.3%, while the world percentage of individuals using the internet is 51.2%. You see the disconnect there, honorable ministers. We don't have internet. We can't do business. We can't do anything. We can't learn. As the youth, we can't do anything. So this is the situation we're having in the world. But some of the SADC ICT ministers' broadband targets for 2025 are 80% of the population of each SADC member state should be covered by broadband services, in particular, at least 80% of rural areas should be within the reach of entry-level broadband services. 80%. That's truly ambitious. Are we there yet? Are we making efforts to get there? 50% of the households in each SADC member state should be connected to broadband. We still have people who stand on top of trees to be connected on mobile. Entry-level broadband services should be at least at less than 2% of monthly gross national income per capita, and entry-level terminals and household installation for fixed or mobile broadband should be made affordable in SADC at less than $50 or 2% of yearly gross national income per capita, whichever is lower. Those are the targets that you have agreed to and you have approved. This therefore warrants the need for greater broadband connectivity and telecommunication services in communities, rural and remote areas that are underserved. So these innovations, the hubs, the 5G and NGA, contribute in particular to Sustainable Development Goal, especially number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure, by allowing for greater broadband connectivity and telecommunication services, particularly in communities, rural and remote areas that are underserved. So what are the objectives of this high-level roundtable for ministers? Is to explore investment opportunities in infrastructure projects in SADC member states, is to pilot a new way of engagement and collaboration in the ICT, information, transport, and meteorology sectors, is to provide a multi-sector high-level platform to promote exchange of experiences and dialogue on key infrastructure projects, is to showcase some of the emerging high-capacity broadband access technologies and their implementation impact. It's also to analyze the opportunities and identify challenges to be tackled in the deployment of hubs, 5G, and NGA, and draw conclusions on lessons from experience that can be adapted and adopted in the SADC region. We have a very long day, honorable ministers, and I wish to stop here and wish you fruitful deliberation, and hopefully we will be able to engage. Please feel free to engage with the technical experts. I thank you very much. Asante sana.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Mokaina, for setting pace for our ministerial roundtable dialogue. Honorable Engineer Isaac Kamwere, the chairperson for the SADC ministers responsible for information, ICT, transport, and meteorology. Our next item in the program is now to start business. But before that, we do all, maybe some of you have read the Bible about John the Baptist. Before Jesus came in, John the Baptist paved the way for Jesus. So the permanent secretaries and the chairmanship of Engineer Leonard Chamriho set place for this meeting. May I request Dr. Chamriho to stand and the rest of the permanent secretaries so that we can give them hearty claps for the job that they've done for 3 days. Let's give them hearty claps. Permanent secretaries who are here, can you please rise from your seats? Let's give them heavy claps. Thank you very much. You did a commendable job, and may God bless you. Now, may I welcome my co-director of ceremony, Mr. Gibson Mwaya, to come forward with the next item.
Honorable ministers, senior officials, may I take this opportunity, according to our program, we are starting our plenary session with a thematic area of SADC infrastructure financing. This session will be chaired by Mr. Jacob Munodawafa. Mr. Jacob Munodawafa is a current Executive Director and the Chief Executive Officer of Southern Africa Telecommunication Association, abbreviated as SATA, which bring together public and private operators, service providers, and the industry in Southern Africa and around the world. Mr. Jacob is an engineer by profession and has a vast experience of more than 20 years working and a professional experience in the telecommunications, and Information Communication Technology, ICT. Academic-wise, Mr. Jacob is a holder of a Bachelor of Science, honors in Electrical and Electronic Engineering from the University of Zimbabwe, a Master of Science in the same field, specializing in digital mobile communications from the University of South Australia, a Master in Business Administration from the University of Zimbabwe, majoring in Financial Management, a Further Education Teacher Diploma from Harare Polytechnic, majoring in training methodologies in delivering, and current studying for Doctor of Philosophy in Business Management with the University of St. Thomas of Mozambique, and suing both Portuguese and English as the language of the studies. Mr. Jacob has done many industry presentations, and today in this industry dialogue with the theme Emerging Technologies to Support SADC Regional Integration and Sustainable Industrial Development, is going to share with us interesting practical developments on implementing the SADC borderless fiber optic network. Honorables, senior officials, I have the honor now to welcome Mr. Jacob Mudowafa from Southern Africa Telecommunication Association. Please, let's clap hand for him. Welcome.
Thank you, Program Director, Honorable Ministers, Permanent Secretaries, distinguished colleagues from our member states, our colleagues from the industry, and from around the world. Good morning. It's a great honor for me to be invited to chair this first session, focusing on infrastructure financing.